What's going on, people? It's your boy Tots back again for another match reaction. Before I get into it, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. T-Chanzo Sports, the home of sports. Now let's get into it. Arsenal 1, AC Milan 0. Obviously, this was the first game of the preseason tour for Arsenal in Singapore, the Singapore tour. And yeah, Arsenal had a kind of a mixed team in terms of strength. We had obviously the first choice goalkeeper, Saliba, starting at the back, along with Calafiori. He was actually playing left-sided centre-back. One of the first times we've seen that in an Arsenal shirt. Zinchenko, who obviously has been linked with a move away from the club, played left back with Ben White, as our normal right back. Going on to the midfield, it was Norgard making his Arsenal debut, as well as Declan Rice in the 8 and Ethan Nwaneri playing in that number 10 position. The front three was Kai Havertz up front, Bukayo Saka on the right, and Martinelli on the left. So yeah, in terms of the team, I was like, okay, cool. I thought it would be like a mixture of kind of first teamers and obviously some of the kind of reserve players that are trying to get themselves into the team. And again, the first half performance, I think, again, kind of showed the strengths of Arsenal's and the weaknesses of Arsenal. I think in terms of the actual game, we kind of dominated the game in terms of possession-wise, which was kind of warranted or kind of expected, so to say, because AC Milan, they were finishing, I think, 8th or 9th. I think it was 8th in Serie A. And yeah, didn't get European football and have not been a great team the last year or so. So it was kind of expected, and which is what they did. They kind of sat people back, 10 men behind the ball, and then try to break on the counter-attack in transition. Didn't really have too much luck. Only one kind of instance. It was Leao running through on our goal in the first half, and it was actually Saliba that came and covered and made a good tackle. Apart from that, there wasn't really anything to speak about. In terms of Arsenal, all of their good things came down that right-hand side. I think Ethan, Saka, and Ben White were the best players in the first half. There was a nice little link-up play with, obviously, Ben White and Saka getting to the byline on a regular basis and trying to create chances there. Just the final ball was just missing every single time. Ethan Nwaneri had a couple of nice little skills, had a shot that the keeper went down and saved to his left-hand side, which was a good shot. Kind of flicked the ball up onto his left foot and had a nice little half volley that went out for a corner, man. So yeah, that was kind of the real main chances. Really, also another chance. I think it might have been, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Kai Havertz that went down to the byline on the right hand side again, put a ball into the box, and it was a header from Calafiori that was cleared off the line by, I think it was Tomori in the end. So yeah, that was kind of the clear chance from both teams in the first kind of half. But in terms of like the weaknesses, what I was saying, that left-hand side again, like nothing was really going down there. Zinchenko was wasn't really overlapping and helping Martinelli. And Martinelli, again, there was one chance he actually carved out for himself and beat his fullback 1v1, but then the cross was a bit heavy, went up for a corner. So, bar that, man, he wasn't really in the game. He was very isolated. And this is kind of the same things we're kind of seeing with Martinelli again, not just because obviously his lack of quality, but maybe because of the structure of the team. There wasn't really kind of any kind of dynamism that went into his game, as well as that left-hand side as well, which means for me, we still have a lot of work to do in the transfer window. We need to make sure we get one or two players in that left kind of channel to make sure we've got enough options so it's not so lopsided in terms of having so many attacks on the right-hand side and not enough on the left. Going on to obviously the second half, a load of changes were made. Kepa Arrizabalaga made his debut. He came on. Zubimendi came on as well as Max Darwin. He came on too. Yamande Salmon, he came on, the 15-year-old defender. He actually came on as well as Marino and Trossard. And yeah, again, in the second half, Kivior as well, sorry. Kivior came on for Calafiori, and it was actually in the second half we broke the deadlock. It was a great ball in by Kivior. I don't know if it was a hint of offside, but a very good run by Saka into the right-hand channel. And he had a shot that kind of bounced off to the ground into the back of the net. Good movement from Saka, to be fair, goes into the back post and making it 1-0 to Arsenal. Very much deserved. I think Arsenal dominated the game in terms of possession and also in terms of threat. We looked more likely to score, even though we weren't creating clear-cut chances. Yeah, so that was obviously the second half. A couple more changes were made. Reece Nelson came on. And I have to say, man, out of all of the wingers that you with Trossard, Martinelli, and Reece Nelson looked the most brightest out of them all. Trossard had a shot from outside the box that was saved out for a corner, but it was actually Reece Nelson that had a couple of opportunities. He was driving out defenders. He was looking a bit more dynamic than Trossard and Martinelli were on that left-hand side. I had a couple of good opportunities as well. One that obviously the keeper saved, pushing it around the post for a corner. Another opportunity that he was linking up with play with other different players. So he actually looked very, very dynamic. Hopefully that puts a few more price tags or a few more pound notes on his price tag, sorry. And then maybe we can try and look to sell him for a decent amount of money. But yeah, in terms of that left-hand side, I would say overall, Mazou Skelly came on, he looks okay. And Zubomendi himself, I thought he played quite well in the second half. There was a lot of things he was doing where you think, okay, that's why you've been brought into the team. A lot of progressive passes, a lot of through balls he was doing, and stuff like that. So yeah, I think he's definitely been one of those kind of signings where hopefully he can hit the ground running, because we need him to do that as well. Considering again, we've got a brand new midfield, really. Him and Norgard. I think Norgard in the first half, well, nothing to shout about. I think he kept it safe. He was obviously nice and with the ball and kept it ticking, really. Nothing really progressive from him. And Kepa Arrizabalaga, nothing really happened in the game for him. He had a shot from Leao that he comfortably saved. But in the penalty shootout, even though Arsenal went on to lose the penalty shootout 5-6, he actually saved 3 penalties. So again, that's probably one of his strengths in terms of penalty shootouts and saving penalties, to be fair to him. So yeah, apart from that, obviously he was pretty comfortable in the game. Arsenal ended up winning the game 1-0. Had a few chances. Josh Nichols came on, like I said. Max Darwin was impressive, won a few free kicks. Actually played on the right-hand side instead of that kind of number 10 role. And he did look kind of bright. Again, very, very bright for a 15-year-old as well. So yeah, good run out for the lads. I feel like, again, it kind of highlighted where we need to go in terms of strengthening the side, strengthening the team. But overall, I think in general, I think, again, it was good to have get everyone out on the pitch. No injuries to my knowledge as well. So injury-free kind of game. And then we move on to the Sunday game, man, against Newcastle, Premier League opposition. We will see Isak. We will see Gordon. We will see any of these players, man. These are the kind of obviously top level players we used to seeing in the Premier League. It might be a bit of a, I know, it will be a more difficult game. I think we're going to have more questions asked of our defense because, again, AC Milan didn't really provide or offer anything substantial. So yeah, that's definitely going to be something I'm going to be looking forward to doing on the Sunday. Another watch along game for that. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But overall, I'll say, again, the performance, the standout, I would probably say maybe Zubomendi in the second half. Even when Yeri looked good when he obviously was on the pitch, obviously Saka was doing his thing. I was happy that Ben White was probably getting back to what we've been used to seeing bar last season in terms of going forward. He was overlapping, he was playing through balls into Saka down the channel, he was combining very well, he was making kind of diagonal runs, dummy runs to obviously get people like Saka into the box or into kind of a decent area. So I think that was kind of a positive from his perspective. In terms of the negatives, like I said, Martinelli really kind of showing the same kind of deficiencies. Odegaard, I don't think really had a particularly great game. If I'm being honest, I think he was okay, but didn't really take the game by the scruff of the neck that I was hoping he would do, considering how bad of a season he had last season. But again, it's the start of the preseason game. It's the first game, so we'll have to wait and see how he does going forward, man. But yeah, bar that, man, it was again a comfortable game in the end. 23 shots to AC Milan's 3. 9 on target, I think it was, to their 1. So yeah, very, very comfortable in the end. But we'll see how we get on the Sunday game. But yeah, that's been Tops and his match reaction. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you've not done it already. I'll be back, obviously, again to watch the next watch along against Newcastle on Sunday. So make sure you tune in for that. But yeah, till then, people, it's been your boy Tops. Don't hate to play at the game. And until next time, people, I am out. Peace.